What's up, Discord? Welcome back to this week's market outlook. So for this week, we're going to be covering from the 18th to the 23rd of September. Okay, so jumping right into it, guys. Welcome to this week's market outlook. Like I said before, we're looking at DXY right now. Last week, as we've seen on DXY, we had this huge impulse, right? We had this huge impulse from news. After we seen that impulse from news, we have stagnant price action. We really didn't get a lot of volatility after Tuesday last week, which is when this news event happened, right? So after that, as you can guess what happened in the other markets, we didn't really see a lot of volatility. I wouldn't say there wasn't any opportunities, but the volatility wasn't there as much, right? So that's all fine and well, right? So looking at DXY right now, what can we assume? So since we did not break this low, right, we can still assume that we can still go higher. So right now what I'm seeing is a distribution. And because I'm seeing this distribution, I am also thinking that this could be a reaccumulation. The only reason why I'm going for a reaccumulation here is because we don't see any sign of weakness underneath here. That's one thing I can say. We don't see any sign of weakness here, so we can just see the buildup of liquidity. So we could see a huge manipulation that takes out all of these lows, and then we get our accumulation here to confirm our reaccumulation, break these highs, and create a new structure leg for us, right? So one thing I want you to be cautious of is the fact that this could still turn out to be a distribution, since we do see this distribution that occurred right here, right? Even though this distribution technically did not invalidate anything, we could still see another distribution here that leads us towards the downside. I'm trying to give you guys like all of the opportunities here. I'm trying to show you guys all of the possible outcomes so we're ready for anything, okay? That's what I like to do. If you're new to these market outlooks and you haven't watched them recently, or you haven't been watching them at all, this is what I do, right? We go in and we look at the markets where they're at right now, and we talk about where could we possibly see the market going, what can we expect, what are we looking for in certain areas, what areas we're looking at, how we're going to play certain areas, and all those types of things, right? We're analyzing and we're talking about these charts and these potential setups and these potential trades for the week coming ahead, okay? So, like I said on DXY, if this second scenario ends up happening, if we do end up getting this bearish scenario, then we are targeting here. Like I said before, this right here is where we are holding our bullish order flow. So technically we are still bullish. This is technically lower time frame, and then we have our order flow here, this is just a huge accumulation. So like I said before, if we do go ahead and break this low here, we're gonna wait until we reach here to look for more buys towards the upside. All right, so that is DXY right now. So right now what I'm thinking is we could see this reaccumulation. If we see that, then we can obviously expect DXY to continue higher, okay? So that is that for DXY. And while I am here, before I forget, let's look at news real quick. And I already got a sneak peek of news. So the main thing I want to talk about here is this FOMC on Wednesday, right? You guys can look at all the other news and kind of determine what's going to happen, and try to determine the time zones and everything. But really what I'm focused on right now is Wednesday the 21st, which is going to be FOMC, right? So you guys know how FOMC is. You're going to see that volatility. We're going to see that big impulse like we did Tuesday, probably more than like we did Tuesday, right? We'll have to see depending on how the numbers come in and things like that. But understand that we should see some price action. We should see some huge momentum and volatility. Now, as I say, as we always play news, like guys, when it comes to news, be careful. Reason why I say that is because some brokers may allow you to trade news, and I wouldn't say technically allow, but some brokers, the spreads aren't as high when news comes around. But on most brokers, right, you're going to see a lot of spread. You're going to see a lot of spread, and more spread is the more potential for you to get stopped out of your trades, okay? You could easily get manipulated out of your trades and lose way more than what you should have lost, okay? I've seen it before. It's happened before. So me personally, I like to position myself in a trade before the news event comes out so I can already break even, right? But I don't like to trade while the news is going on, right? You just want to kind of like lay low or get in before, okay? So that's my recommendation to you guys. If you have a broker that allows you to do that and it's not that much spread and you can easily trade news, then go ahead. Okay, just be careful for the manipulations. All right, so let's go ahead and get this ball rolling. Since we talked about DXY, we're gonna start off with Euro USD. So as we know, Euro USD is bearish. Okay, we know Euro USD is bearish from here to here, right? That is our main leg that we're focused on trading right now. The problem that I'm having with Euro USD is we did in fact react off of this area here, okay, but we did not invalidate anything as of right now. So how do we know if we invalidate something? How do we know which areas, what is the key areas that we need to invalidate and things like that, right? I'm going to go ahead and explain to you what I mean by that. So if we're looking at this, before this even happened, before we went towards the upside, we have to follow our supply zones and our demand zones. So here we have a distribution here. We can see the 3-drop move. Here is a supply zone, okay? This supply zone got mitigated by this, okay? So that means we don't care about this supply zone anymore. So we have a new supply zone. Well, this supply zone got mitigated by this. Well, what does that mean? That means we do not care about this one anymore. So now this is our new supply zone. This supply zone here got mitigated by here. So now we do not care about that supply zone anymore. So we're just exiting out these supply zones as we go. So what happened was we invalidated supply. Where did we invalidate supply? What invalidated our supply? This. So you can see here, we was on a supply train, was following a mitigation train, a little bearish mitigation train to the downside. But this here is what caused us to invalidate all of these sellers and these mitigations that was going on here. So what does that mean? That means in order for us to say that we're going back down, or to confirm that sellers are back into the market, we need to invalidate here, because this is what originally caused the problem in the first place. So if this is what caused the issue in the first place, then technically we should have invalidated this to confirm that, okay, now sellers are back. Okay, that's basically what I'm saying here. So I hope you guys understand that. So what I want to see happen, if your USD is going to continue lower from here, I just want to see us maybe get a tiny distribution inside of here, and for us to just invalidate this. So this right here will become a redistro. So technically it would look something like this, right? I want to see something like this happen. We go in here, take out this low, come back, get a mitigation, get our entry, and continue lower, targeting this low, right? If we take out this, we're making a new low, all right? That's basically what I'm saying. So I can be confident in that. So that's what I want to see. I just want to see us take out this so we can target this low for great targets. All right. So if not, I really don't see a reason for us to react from here except because of the news event. So we could potentially come up here and get a distribution to continue lower. But that is something that's like a hit or miss right there. I have to see the distribution, just because we can't really validate that. We can because of the news. We can say that sellers got into here because of the news, but we didn't really invalidate anything for us to say that these sellers are strong enough to continue the market down right now, since we didn't invalidate anything, right? That's the only conjunction that I'm having with Euro USD. I'm pretty sure we're just going to continue lower anyways. So as long as we see DXY continue higher, just know Euro USD is going to go lower. So we can use that to, you know, combat that statement right there as well. Okay, so moving on to GU. GU has been a little bit more easier, I would say. We have created a new leg, order flow leg, as I would say. So it's the same thing that I've been telling you guys. I'm trading the same thing that I'm teaching, right? The things that you have I'm sorry, the things that you guys have been watching in the course, you know, on the videos. It's the same thing. I'm sorry, it's the same thing. So we have structure. We have our structure going down. So what are we looking for? We're looking for our supply and demand zones. We're looking for our S&Ds. Where's our S&Ds? We have here, and then we have here. Those are our two most recent S&Ds within this leg, this order flow leg, this lower time frame order flow leg. So what do we do now? Now all we have to do is validate these areas. How do we do that? Well, all we have to do is just wait for the market to get inside of here, give us that lower time frame confirmation entry, and we take sales to continue lower. That's it. That's all I'm waiting for on GU. I'm not looking for anything else. The only other thing that I would play on GU is if we get a clean redistro, and I could just play from here and we continue lower. Okay, that's it. But that would have to happen during the right time. That'd have to be London, New York session, you know, right in between those zones. But simply, I'm looking for sales from here or from here. All right. And we are bearish on a higher time frame as well. So if we do end up coming up here and validating this, then we're looking for sales within this whole little range right here. Okay. And if you want to look at, let's say, our premium pricing, here we go. You can see above 50% is our premium pricing. So anywhere in here, but we do not see any reason for the market to trade inside of this gap because there's nothing here. Okay, so we could expect, if we do go above this high, we can expect us to fill that until we reach this price action. So pretty simple, guys. Go ahead and delete this. Pretty simple, pretty simple. So AU. Now, I know you guys remember what I was speaking on AU last week in our last market outlook when AU was all the way up here. I told you guys AU has not completed its objective yet. Well, guess what? We completed it with the news. So now AU's objective have been completed. We've made a new low. So now technically our structure is from high, low, high, low. So what does that mean? That means AU could reverse here, take out this high, take out this high, take out this high, and still sell from here, and we're still bearish. That's what that means, because this is our higher, well, I wouldn't say our higher time frame leg, but this is our main leg that we're playing. So you guys have to understand, when we're playing the markets, we have several different types of structures that we play. We have an overall leg that we go from, which is going to be our directional leg. So these are our directional legs right now. Okay, that's what keeps us saying, okay, we want to continue to market down. So, but as the market is going down, we're going to have these internal legs, which is called order flow. We're going to have these order flow legs that's going down. So, but we played the exact same way. We play these legs the exact same way. Everything is played the exact same way. It's just you have internal, you have external, you have a higher time frame, you have a bigger time frame. You just have to get past through that part first. And that's why I have market structure as the first thing on the course, because it's the most important thing. Once you get that, it's going to be easy to apply these concepts. So simply, this high here is our last high before we create this low. So this is our most recent order flow. So what does that mean? That means we have two areas, our supply and our supply zones within these areas. We have our first area here, which I'm looking for a distribution in, right? We get that distribution, we get that lower time frame confirmation entry, we're taking a sell from here, we continue lower. Simple play. If we do not get that, then we're going to look for sales within our extreme, which is going to be up here. Okay, that is our news candle. That was the most recent news candle. Okay, so that is going to be our most recent extreme point of interest to play from. It's that simple. That's what I'm looking for on AU. We're looking for shorts from this area and that area. Okay. Now, when it comes to specific entries, you guys should already know what type of entries we're looking for. We're looking for the distribution entry, distribution type 2, change of character. There's no specific entry, right? All you have to do is validate that sellers are getting to the market. So what should I, let me give you guys an example. So it's not always distribution, because I had a, I had a client, I had a student from the mentorship, was talking about entries. They couldn't get their entries correct. Guys, it's not always the perfect distribution with, you know, the buying climax, the secondary test, the upthrust, the UTET. It's not always the perfect schematic. It's not always going to be. Sometimes you're going to get this. Sometimes you're only going to get 3 drives. That's why I say look for a 3-drive move. 1, 2, 3. Change of character, right? The change of character is what you're really looking for. This is what you're really, that change of character that's indicating sellers are getting within that zone. Because think about it. If you're already inside of a supply zone, any small change of character should be a signal to you that, hey, maybe sellers are getting in. You don't have to worry about anything else because you're in a supply zone. That means you're already looking for sellers. Sellers should already be within that area. All you have to do now is confirm it with that change of character, that break of structure, right? Like I was saying before, it could be a 3-drive move. We have another type of entry, right? We have this. I drew it wrong. Let me draw it better. We have this. You have liquidity. Market grabs the liquidity. change of character or slash break of structure, whatever you want to call it. This is going to be your sponsor candle. You take an entry from there, continue the market lower, right? These are lower time frame entries. These are lower time frame entries that I say I'm looking for. That's what I'm looking for. We have a different one where you'll see the market go inside the point of interest. You'll see something like this: liquidity, raid, change of character. This will be your sponsor candle. You take the entry, market continues lower. As simple as that, guys. Like, just validate that sellers are within that area. You can't, technically what I'm saying is, here's the wrong way to do a confirmation entry. You can't say, let's say, you can't see the market going inside a point of interest like this, creating consistent price action to the upside, and then let's say we do something like this, and you're trying to sell from here, right? You can't do that. Let me draw that better, actually. And let's say the market does something like this. Let's say we do something like this. And then you're trying to sell from right here. It doesn't make sense. Why? Because we're still going higher. Okay, this is going to be your change of character. All right. So once we break this, oh, okay, now I can take a sell. Now it makes sense because we've actually shown bearish interest. All right, vice versa for the buys as well. So let's go ahead and get through this. But yeah, I just wanted to explain that it's the concept. It's not the specific, you know, it's not the specific, what am I looking for here? It's not the specific pattern, I would say, even though I did show you guys some patterns, but it's the logic and the concept behind those patterns that you have to understand, right? They're not always going to look exactly how I just drew them. That's the thing. So that's why we have, sometimes people will miss them. And then I have people ask me, what are you actually looking for? Like, what type of entries are you looking for? What do I look for when the market's inside my point of interest? You're looking for buys or sells. So all you have to do is validate that. Okay, that's it. And when I say validate that, that's exactly what I meant. With the examples I've showed you guys, the logic that I used behind that is what I meant. You have what? You have a break of structure. That's what you need to confirm that sellers or buyers are coming, or confirm that they have entered the market. You need that liquidity grab, or whatever the case may be. You need that manipulation, okay, that shows you. So let me not get into a rant, but that's basically what I meant, okay? So moving on to UCAD. UCAD is pretty clean, okay? UCAD took off last week after doing this little price action here. Zooming out, you can see that this is just a bigger reaccumulation. So what I'm expecting here is, I'm expecting either we get another reaccumulation, so maybe something like this, and we'll take it higher, or what I would really love for us to do is just get back into this point of interest right here, get back into that demand zone, and then we're just going to look for entries within this area. Okay, any opportunity for us to get the market going higher, we're going to look for those entries inside of here and just take the market higher. Okay, if not, if we decide to do a bigger retracement, then I could see us getting back all the way back inside of here. Okay, but for now, we're not even going to worry about here. We're going to worry about right here for now. Okay, I have an alert sitting there, so I'm just going to wait to see if the market is going to get us back inside that area, or whether or not we're just going to get the continuations and we'll just continue to play the continuations. Okay, moving on to EG. Let me go ahead and zoom out on EG for real quick so I can show you guys the bigger price action on EG. Now, EG higher time frame is bearish. Okay, I would say that it is bearish, but as of right now, lower time frame, we are on a little bullish trend. But higher time frame, you can see this is our leg, this high to this low. So this is an intraday leg, and then we have something called a lower time frame leg. Well, I mean, I'm not gonna get into that as well, because that can get very confusing. So I recommend you guys just watch the market structure videos, or you can go watch the video I made on GU when I did a full breakdown. I explained the legs on that. Okay, so looking at EG, pretty simple setup. You guys are going to see my setups are the same every single time. I'm not really changing anything. What do we have here? We have a reaccumulation. We have a confirmed reaccumulation. And what's the difference between a regular reaccumulation and a confirmed reaccumulation? The confirmed reaccumulations are the concepts behind it, I would say. So essentially, this right here would be a regular reaccumulation. So something like this. This is a regular reaccumulation. What is a confirmed reaccumulation? A confirmed reaccumulation looks like this. Okay, so that is a confirmed reaccumulation. What is a confirmed reaccumulation? Basically, what's going on here is we have a distribution here turn into a reaccumulation. So let me go ahead and explain that. So by us seeing this distribution, that means some type of institution is interested within this area. So once this distribution occurs, technically, once we see a distribution, we're supposed to sell off, right? That is the obvious thing here. But because we are in a bullish market, well, I wouldn't say, but I just showed you guys a higher time frame, but on a lower time frame base right now, you guys can see technically buyers are technically in control right now. We can obviously see that. So because buyers are in control, it doesn't make sense for us to distribute. So this is how you can tell the difference between a fake distribution and a real distribution. So we're not inside of a supply. There's no supply to the left of us, okay? That's one thing. And second, we're in a bullish market. We see continuously reaccumulations going towards the upside. So once you see this distribution start to form, it's going to put a question on you. You're going to start questioning like, okay, why is this distribution forming? Should I take this distribution? We're in a bullish market at the moment. You can see we have buyers continuously getting into the market. So it's easy to predict that maybe this distribution is going to be fake. Once we see that distribution get faked out, that is 100% telling us that we know for sure buyers got into this market. Why? Because that means sellers tried to get in. They got it validated by the buyers. And we know buyers are sitting right here. Okay? Within that zone, we know buyers are sitting there. So that is the difference between a confirmed and a regular, okay? That's a little bit more advanced, I would say, but as long as you understand the concepts, you should be able to get that down. All right, so let's go ahead and continue. But before I continue, I'm sorry, I'm all over the place, but we're gonna get through this. We got a couple markets left. We're gonna try to get through this as efficient as possible. All right, guys. So what I'm looking for on EG, as you guys should know, I'm looking for a reaccumulation. That's going to be the first thing. If we don't come back in here and we just reaccumulate again, right, I'm just going to be looking for buys to continue higher, okay, once we get that reaccumulation. If not, if we do continue lower and get back inside this area, you guys know exactly what I'm looking for. If you can find a candle inside of here to take a trade from, be my guest, go ahead and do that if you want to take a limit order. But me personally, looking at this area already, I can already see that it's going to be very hard to find a limit order that's going to be a small enough pips for me to take. So I'm just going to be looking for my confirmation entries within this zone. I'm just going to be looking for some type of confirmation that buyers are getting inside the market and then take the buy and we continue higher. Simple as that. Simple as that, guys. Okay. ACAD, I will say ACAD is something that I've been watching a lot recently, and I'm going to be watching it a lot more because ACAD has not completed its objective. Okay, we have not taken out this low yet, which is the objective for ACAD right now. So what I am going to be doing is I am going to be looking for more sales on ACAD. As you guys can see, we're seeing what? Distribution, redistribution. We have another distribution here. So what I'm thinking here is we're gonna get another redistribution that we could play from to continue lower. My main target is here. Okay, so I'm just gonna be looking for sales on ACAD until we get over here. I want to see us get that sign of weakness from this area. So I just want to see a slowdown. I want to see a slowdown and start giving us those drives. So what do I mean? Well, let's look at this right now. We have low, high. Maybe we can get another one more, and then boom, right? So drive, change of character. Once we see that change of character, whatever unmitigated candle within here, I'm taking a trade from. We're taking a sell limit, and we continue lower. That's what I'm looking for, something like that. Of course, it probably won't be that perfect, but that's the concept. That's what I'm gonna be looking for, something along those lines. Okay. All right, NCAD on the other hand has already completed its objective, but we're still bearish. We haven't invalidated any supply, so we're just gonna continue selling it until it tells us not to. We have this unmitigated supply zone here from the news. It rated some liquidity, so you guys know, simple setup. Looking for sales within this area, looking for those lower time frame entries, continue lower. There's nothing more I really have to say on NCAD. Like I said, we already completed our objective. We are bearish, so until we invalidate this high here, I'm still selling this. Okay, so I have no reason to give you guys the breakdown on, you know, the reversal thing. I think you guys kind of get that a little bit. So just understand, until we break this high, we don't really have to worry about NCAD right now. Just continue to sell it. Okay, I'm just going to continue selling it until it shows me not to. So that is the main markets that I'll be looking at for this week. If anything else pops up on the list, then I will go ahead and inform you guys, but those are the main ones that I'm going to be looking at. Okay, so if you guys have any particular markets that you want me to look at, go ahead and send it in the community channel, and, you know, just add me and I'll look at it and show you guys my outlook and what I think about it. But I appreciate you guys for watching this market analysis. I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.